It's time now for Real Estate Update. With Usha Chandra of GlobeNet Realty, real estate is our world.
Now we're standing here
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very exciting segment. Today we're going to be talking once again about real estate and the weekly real estate update with Usha Chandra of GlobeNet Realty. With that, welcome to the show, Usha.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Usha Chandra and Australian Indian Radio.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show here. And today we once again look at the capital cities and the auction results. I know in the last episode we touched a lot on the interest rate, right? We all know about that. So the interest rate is what it is. It is on the rise, but it is not as high as what it used to be previously. And as they mentioned, real estate goes on. Life goes on. So let's take a look at our weekly reports. First of all, let's take a quick look at what's been happening auction-wide across the nation.
Yes, let's have a quick look at the combined capital city auction volumes. That has risen up by 5.3% last week on. There were 1,920 auctions held across the combined capital cities last week, up from 1,823 over the previous week, was 1,453 this time last year. Of the results collected so far, 61.7% were successful, down slightly from the previous week's clearance rate of 62.3%, which revised down to 59.4% at the final figures. This time last year, 73.7% of auctions were successful. In early view of auction volumes indicates that we may see the busiest auction week since late June, with more than 2,200 auctions currently on the radar across the combined capital cities. There were 850 homes taken to auction in Melbourne last week, up 9.4% from the previous week of 777 properties were taken to auction. So the signs are showing that the auctions are coming back and the results are getting better.
And that is such a wonderful news about the rebound, and the rebound was it had to happen because every time we have seen that what happens with the market when there is a drastic change, something like interest rate, all of a sudden things go to a standstill, but they quickly rebound as well. So this is the rebound, and so all those listeners out there, watch out and be careful and act accordingly. Well, okay, so that's an overview there which you have just given, which is quite comprehensive. But let's take a look at actual results city-wise.
Yes, let's have a quick look at Sydney markets. Clearance rate was 60.6%. The total number of auctions was 702, and total clearance was 346. And Melbourne is up 63.2%, which is really good to see. 850 properties were taken to auction and 443 were sold under the hammer. Brisbane is pretty down, 42.4%. 126 properties were taken to auction and only 39 sold under the hammer. Adelaide is 77.8%. Adelaide market is always good. 77.8%. 125 properties were taken to auction and 56 sold under the hammer. Perth is 50%, 15 properties were taken to auction and 5 sold under the hammer. Tasmania was not applicable as usual. Canberra market is down as well. 61.9%. It was always in higher 70s and 80s before. 101 properties were taken to auction and 39 sold under the hammer. So looking at the average in the combined capital cities, 61.7%, 1,920 properties were taken to auction and only 929 sold under the hammer. So the results are showing a little bit better than previous weeks, but still down. Looking at Brisbane market, 42.4%, pretty down here. It was in the 70s before and then the 60s, now it's in the 40s.
Well, the results speak for themselves. Look at Melbourne, 443 cleared auctions as opposed to 39 in Brisbane. So you can't, as they reckon, that you can't argue with the facts and figures, and that's where they are. Well, okay. So what sort of bearing does this have on the property values? Maybe we look at what has it done in the last month, and then we'll look at an overall picture of what it did in the 12 months. So first of all, if we can have a look at the monthly change.
Yes, looking at the monthly change, Sydney market was minus 2%, Melbourne was minus 1.2%, Brisbane was minus 1.9%, and Adelaide was minus 0.1%, and Perth was minus 0.1%. So looking at the combined capital cities, it was still minus 1.5%. So the results, I mean, if you look at compared to Brisbane and Sydney, because Melbourne and Brisbane and Sydney, Melbourne was always very low. Now it's only minus 1.2%, whereas Brisbane is minus 1.9% and Sydney minus 2%. So shows the Melbourne market is bounced back.
Melbourne market has bounced back. If you look at that 443 cleared auctions, that speaks volumes. So across the board on the monthly change, there has been a downward trend. So it's minus 1.5. So this might be the, adjustment period. We're coming down to more realistic area. But what in real estate is always not short term but long term, which we look at. So what has it done in terms of the 12 months? So what has been the 12-month figures?
Yeah, 12-month figures, looking at Sydney market again first, minus 3.7%, 12-month change. Melbourne is minus 2.8%. Brisbane is plus 16.2%, which is really good results in 12-month change. And Adelaide is the top of the list, 21.2%. And Perth is 4.9%. And combined capital cities, 1%. So there is still, the previous result we saw on the monthly change, it was minus, now it's 1%, so which is good. Yeah, good results.
So on the combined capitals, the growth has been 1%. When you look at Brisbane and Adelaide, they've done really, really well at 16.2, and Adelaide has really bounced and come on at 21%. We're looking at the monthly changes. At one stage, Brisbane used to be 29 point something percent, but this is where it is ended up in the 12-month change from this month. Going back 12 months. Brisbane is not too bad, 16.2% still. So what brings the scale down is the other cities like Sydney and Melbourne, which were probably inflated in the very beginning. So people from there came and invested in Brisbane and Adelaide, hence pushing the values up in Brisbane and Adelaide, while bringing the values down in Sydney, even though the medium price might be another thing. The medium price still would be high in Melbourne and Sydney. Well, looking at that, of course, we always gauge the market by the number of listings on as well to see what's happening in the market. So if we could have a sweep across the nation and look at what's available in terms of sales listing.
Yes, looking at Brisbane market first this time, 3,805 new properties came on the market, and the 4-week count is 14,703. It's down a little bit compared to the previous weeks, but this week is 3,805. Sydney market is down as well in listings, 5,818. Combined 4-week count is 23,181. Canberra is 662 new listings, which is quite good for Canberra. 2,054 is the 4-week count. Melbourne listings are down as well, 6,375. Normally we used to see 11,000, 10,000 listings in Melbourne, but it's basically 6,375. 4-week count is 26,956. Looking at Adelaide, 1,582 new listings, 4,627 4-week count. And the other thing is, we'll look at Darwin, 214 new listings, 1,141 in 4-week count. Perth is 3,551 new listings, pretty good there as well compared to the previous weeks in Perth. 13,863. Hobart is 310 new listings and 1,052 in 4-week count. So looking at the combined capital cities, there was 17 new properties come on the market last week, and combined total 4-week count is 87,577 new listings in 4-week count.
And the numbers are looking good, but looking at Melbourne and then comparing that to Brisbane, Brisbane is about 50% of that. That's about 6,300 new listings in Melbourne and about 3,800 in Brisbane, when the overall there's 26,900 in Melbourne and 14,700 in so that's indicative of what's actually happening out there. So the volumes in Melbourne, so when we compare, it is very hard to gauge one market with other because the sheer volumes are quite different as well. Melbourne is really going ahead. Of course, the other part of the equation in real estate is always rentals, and we've heard a lot about rentals, that there are people finding it difficult to find rental properties. So what is happening out there? What's available nationwide?
Yes, let's have a quick look at Brisbane again. 4,165 new listings in rentals, quite good amount. So 4-week count is 8,410. Sydney is 12,215. So looking at Sydney, rental market is double there compared to the sales market. So 28,207 in 4-week count. Canberra is 812 new rentals. 1,741 in 4-week count. Melbourne, 10,691 new rental properties, quite large number there as well. 25,581 in 4-week count. Looking at Darwin, 320 new rental properties, 695 in 4-week count. Perth is 2,915, 6,155 in 4-week count. And Hobart is 290 new listings in rentals and 576 is 4-week count. Looking at Adelaide, 1,390 new listings in rentals, 2,698. And looking at the combined capital cities, 32,798 new listings. 4-week count is 74,063. So quite large number of rentals coming on the market. So that's really good news for our renters, that there is a quite large number of properties they can choose from.
So if there is a large number of properties that can be chosen from, why is there always reports about people finding it hard to get into properties?
Looking at the rental market actually in our area, north side of Brisbane, I mean there's a couple of properties, but there's multiple applications, so still shortage of properties because the demand is quite high and the supply is not there. So still, I mean, looking at large number of volumes of listings coming, but there's a huge number of tenants waiting on databases to find the right property for their families.
And thank you very much for that. Well, right now, looking at the rental snapshot, let's take a look at what is the rental rates all around the country and what sort of returns and yields have been happening.
Yes, let's have a quick look at Sydney market first. 659 is the average rental price, and the 12-month change is 10.4%, and the rental yield is 2.87. So that's quite good, 2.87% there. Melbourne is 490 per week, and then the rental yield is 3% in Melbourne. And looking at Brisbane, 565 is their median price, and the rental yield is 3.77%, which is quite good at the moment, and 12-month change is 3.99%. Adelaide is $504 per week, and current rental yield is 3.78%, and the 12-month change is 3.99%, sorry, 4.13%. Perth is 526 is the average price, and current yield is 4.43%, and the 12-month change is 4.37%. Hobart is $546 per week, and the current yield is 3.82%, and the 12-month change is 4.1%. Looking at Darwin, $587 per week and 6.19%. That's pretty good yield there. And then looking at the yield, it was 6.09%. Canberra is $687 per week, and 3.87% is their current yield, and 12-month change is 3.99%. Looking at the combined capital cities, the average rent is $556 per week, and the yield, monthly yield, current yield, is 3.29%, and the average is 12 months average is 3.4%, and combined regionals is $495 per week. Regional market is pretty good in rental, quite high yield there, 4.21%, and 12-month change is 4.3%. So nationally it's $539 per week, and current yield is 3.5%, and the annual yield is 3.32%. So looking at all the rentals, the highest rental is in Canberra, which is $687, compared to second one is in Sydney, $659, and then Brisbane market is pretty good as well, $565. So that's the current yield and rental returns.
And that is quite interesting to see that. And of course, as an investor, people always look at the yield. So looking at the yield, Darwin tops at the current rate at 6.19, and the 12 months 6.09. So 6.1% yield is quite good. So ladies and gentlemen, the yield would be what you'd pay for a property, what is the property cost as compared to the returns. So your weekly rental return is slightly different from the gross yield in the way that is calculated. So that is just good to see that Darwin has come, and Darwin has put the combined regionals up there as well. And of course, looking at the vacancy rates as well, so that's not too bad. So the 1.2%. 12 months ago, it was 2.1%. So just 1.2% of vacancies across nationally, which is pretty good. Well, right now, of course, let's take a look at the top 2 sales in Queensland.
Yes, looking at the top 2 sales in Queensland, looking at Surfers Paradise at Elderly Avenue, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3 cars, sold for $4,645,000, and the second one is in Mermaid Beach, Cronulla Avenue, which is 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2 cars. That's sold for $4,400,000. So quite very, very high values, quite good values. Properties are achieving in Surfers Paradise and Mermaid Beach. So they were the top sales of Queensland actually.
And wonderful to see that both sold at about 4 million plus, 4.6 and 4.4. So the number 2 that you talked about, 19 Cronulla Avenue, is a house, and the first one is probably an apartment, number 11/1 Anderley Avenue. So it is wonderful to see this kind of growth at Prague, but people are paying that kind of money. Well, right now, let's in the ending segment of today, let's take a look at your area and get an area report from your side.
Yes, looking at our area, which is the north side of Brisbane, Boondall Tigam area, the market is slowly catching up. We are getting a few more listings. It was a bit down in the last few weeks. but there's few more listings coming up on the market. There's few more sales happening, so slowly, but we are looking at, we've got high demand of buyers waiting on our database, so we are looking to get more listings in the marketplace. We have been doing door knocks and brochure drops. We have done about 5,500 brochures in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we are going to get a few more listings on that. Sales, we have just had few more sales. The one in Eucalyptus Street, that's already sold. Hamilton Road, that one is sold and settled yesterday. So there's quite a few, there's a few small listings sales coming up, but we are looking for getting more listings so that we can satisfy more buyers who are on our database. Rental market is very good in our area. We have got 3 new listings in rentals. One we have just sold in Ellison Road, and that has come on the rental market, and that one is going to be rented at $750 a week. Quite a large house in Jiba, and it's 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double car lockup, plus multiple living areas. So that's close to all amenities. That's on the rental list now. We have just got another new listings from sold by another agent, and the owner has given it to us in Kingstown Avenue. So that's going for $550 a week. That's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 1 car. So that's in a very good location of Boondall, close to all amenities, and that's for $550 per week. That's available now. And we have just got another one in Bray Park, which was sold by another agent, and Sydney Investor bought it, and we managed a couple of the properties for them, for this buyer's agent, and we have got a new listing, and we have got multiple applications from Saturday's inspection. So there are 3 new listings there, and the market overview is that we are, it's a very good location there. There's two train stations, and Naji College, and Boondall State School, Sandgate High School, St. Flannan's School. It's all in the catchment area, and we are looking for, it's a very good family area. A lot of medium families live in that area. A lot of investors are buying in that area. So that's the our area on north side of Brisbane, Boondall, Tygum, Deakin, all those suburbs. So if anybody is looking to list or looking for a management, please contact us on 3865 4466, and one of us will be able to assist you in achieving your results.
And once again, thank you very much for that area report from your area. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another segment of the weekly real estate update with Usha Chandra. To look at the complete number of listings, go onto the GlobeNet Realty website or domain website as well. You'll find all the listings up on either domain, or you can go directly to the GlobeNet Realty website. So, Usha, once again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetraltor.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.